Good afternoon, everybody. Here we are. I'll just leave it a minute for you to all get logged in. Hopefully Julia's finished by now. I couldn't check because I had to use my phone as a camera, so I did check about 15 minutes ago. Hi, Helen. Oh, that doesn't look straight, doesn't it? There we go. So I'll give you all a minute to get logged in before we start. This is definitely going to be a bit quicker than the YouTube live the other night. But at least you've got 2 demos this week. First time ever. Hi, Debbie. I'll just give it a minute and let everybody get logged in. Hi, Mags. That's it. Everybody's starting to come in now. So I'm not doing the multi-streaming onto the YouTube and the Facebook. I'm going to try and keep them separate. Hi, Grace. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Stuart. Hi, Michelle. So this is a very different look to the one we did last night. Hi, David. Julia's finished. Good. I did check. Thanks, David. I did check. Otherwise, I'd have hung on a minute. Hi, Angela. You should like this, Angela. It's only a DL. Well, it's not a DL. It's an oversized DL. Hi, Denise. Sitting in the car park at a craft fair. Now that's dedication. Hi, Sue. Hi, Sue. Sat in the car park at a craft fair watching my Facebook live. Now that's dedication. Hi, Claire. Hi, Kay. Right, everybody's starting to get logged in now. So let me take this screen off. And we are going to do a slightly, well, not a slightly different look. It's a completely different look to what I did on YouTube on Thursday evening even. And I thought I don't very often do masculine style, and I hate that phrase masculine style because it is what it is. It's whatever you want. Hi, Alan. Hi, Pam. Hi, Joan. No class at Sheffield, so you made it on time. No, Karen's not in today. I've just spoken to her. I've just spoke to to Diane as well. Hi, Bev. Hi, Linda. Hi, Judy. So this is a completely different look to what we did on YouTube on Thursday night, and I'm trying to, throughout all these videos and these demos, I'm trying to give you ideas and also give you like different ways you can use your stamps and make the most out of everything that we're doing. So we are going for a slightly more masculine look, and you all know that I love black, white and craft together. I just think they look fab together. So black cardstock, white cardstock and craft cardstock. So just because there are no flowers on this card doesn't mean there's not a bucket load of embellishments. But it will all become clear. So I'm going to do my usual thing and just run through what I'm using before I start. Hi, Rose. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Shahab. Could you tell me could I tell you the name of the cologne you wear? I wish you had smelly telly. I can. It's Chanel Allure. I wear two different Chanels. I have Chanel Allure and I have Chanel Bleu. They're the only two that I use. Obviously, I can't tell you when I'm on air because it's naming another brand. So let's pop this to one side, and I'm going to go through everything that I'm using first before we get started. So there's quite a few bits on this. Now on my screen it looks quite dark. I'm not sure why. I wonder if it's because I've got all these lights on. I'll take one off and see if it changes it. Nope, doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So I'm going to leave the light on. Watching from your newly dug garden in the sun with all your new plants. Can't think of a better way to spend my Saturday afternoon. Oh, thanks, Annette. Right, so let's run through what we've got here. So before I forget, please like and share for me. so we can share the love, share the inspiration. Hi Jean, hi Vicky, hi Edith. Missed you on Thursday night, Jean. Noticed you weren't there, heckling me from the sidelines. Right, so let's get this show on the road. It's nice to have an idea for a more manly look card anyway, I think. It's a complete change from all the flowers I had to do for Thursday night. Hi Di. Hi Pam. Bev, are you impressed, by the way? I put all the links in the description for the Facebook Live. Hi Jennifer. Right, so here we go. So it's a very vintage looking card, very mixed media, and the way it will look when we finish. Hi Shell. Although I'm not, I've just phoned the shop to see if we had some of the products that I wanted to use are not in stock, so I'm not going to use them now. So I'll save them till we've got stock. There's no point tormenting you with look at what you could have had. So I'm using the big backgrounds, and you know I love the big backgrounds. And I'm using the vintage timepieces because I'm going to cut some of these clocks out. So I'm trying to move my ring, look, so you're not so you're not dazzled by my ring on the screen. So I'm using the vintage timepieces because we're going to cut some of these clocks out to make embellishments. I'm also using the cogs and gears, and I don't know whether anybody's actually noticed this, but some of the cogs and gears that are in the stamp are also within the dies. You know I like coordination. It's all right, Jean, not to worry. So I'm using the cogs and gears as well. I'm also using Trudy's linen and doodle stripes. Now, I don't know whether this is on offer on the website or not, but if it is, I would snap this up in a heartbeat. So I have used this before, but not for a long time, and it's a really, really fabulous set of 2 texture stamps. So you've got that gorgeous linen there, look, and you've also got the doodle stripes, and I'm trying not to dazzle you with the stripes, but these are doodle stripes, they're not perfect stripes, so I am using those as well. And then for the sentiment, I'm going to be using one of the compendium of sentiments, because they will all work for this card. So I'm just going to run through these. These are old. These are about 3 years old, but you can still get some of them, maybe not all of them. Denise, that's brilliant. Chris is at the caravan, I don't blame her. Hi Lona. So the Compendium of Sentiments is the set that I did a couple of years ago that gives you lots and lots of the sentiments that we use every day, like your happy birthday, best wishes, with love and all that, but in 4 different styles. So this is the Beautifulistic, which is obviously the one that has all the flourishes and the very elegant font. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. Then you have the Boldtastic, which are obviously the bolder sentiments, and these are really good for your masculine cards as well because they're not too flouncy. Unless, like me, you want flouncy. Hi Alice. So that's the Boldtastic. Then you've got Grungy-Philistic. You know I like to give them good names. Grungy-Philistic, and this is a fabulous one if you love your mixed media. So these are all a little bit grungy. I mean, look at that, with all the spikes coming off it. That's fabulous. I might actually use this one. So you've got typewriter font in there, you've got grungy fonts in there, and then you have Decorative-Tastic. What a mouthful, eh? Decorative-Tastic. And Decorative-Tastic is the one I'm just going to show you because it's a lovely one to have. So you've got lots of different decorative fonts in this. So just for you with the daisies, that with love there, it is a larger sentiment stamp, a focal one, but look how beautiful the letters are on that with love. Aren't they gorgeous? And then you've got, oh, that would have been good for today. It's got the linen texture in it. So I don't know which one of those I'm going to use yet. So I'll keep them all there until I decide. And then on to the dies. So I couldn't do this card without the lots of cogs. Again, if you haven't got the lots of cogs, it's definitely worth having this set. We'll be gone to the cricket match, so I'm not required till about 4. Oh, I'll be done well before then, hopefully, Linda. So we've got the lots of cogs, and I know most of you have probably seen this or got this already, but we are starting to get low in stock, and I won't be reordering this. So lots of cogs, has 23 dies in it. It comes on the A5 magnetic sheet, and as ever you've got some that give you debossing detail as well. So lots of cogs. I don't need the dies, so I'm going to put them to this side. I'm going to throw them on the floor. And then I'm using and I'm sorry if we haven't got this, I'm using the Charmed Stars. And I apologise if we haven't got this, but it does work really well with this card. And I've gone for that one, look, just with the stitching detail. There we go. So lots Charmed Stars. Oops. Oh, I'll get that in a minute. I nearly swore, but I didn't. And then I'm using the Starry from the Texture Dies. So this is the one that gives you all these lovely, lovely, lovely stars. I love this one. So I specifically did these with the Christmas release, but it's not necessarily Christmas. The Starry one is a good one. I don't know how much stock we've got of the Compendium of Sentiments, but they are older, so they're probably only $13.99 or something. I can't remember. And then I'm also using, which I forget to use these, and I love these dies. These are the DL Slender collection, the double deboss DL Slender collection, and this is the rounded corners I'm using today. So you get that lovely rounded corner, and you also get 2 deboss lines on there as well. Are you bringing any more charmed shapes? No, I'm not, Jennifer, but I am working on a whole new series of dies. And then last but not least, I'm using the double diamond embossing folder, and I'm just going to show you how that looks. Oops, I've dropped stars everywhere. Love the double diamonds. Look at that. Isn't that just fabulous? So you've got the diamonds there with the 2 lines that interconnect. So you've got a double line diamond underneath the solid diamonds. So I always say this, these are not 3D embossing folders, but they are actually just as deep as some 3D embossing folders. So double diamonds is a must-have for all those masculine cards that you struggle to do. It's a really good one. So they've all been chucked on the floor. I'm going to get a drink and then we're going to get started. So I've got a coffee, a full one. Let's see how much of this is left when I've finished. Oh, that's lovely. That'll be the last one I get that's the last drink I get that's hot. So I'm rolling my sleeves up because there's quite a bit of black ink on this card. And I'll bring all the bits in just while I'm rolling my sleeves up so you can wonder at how much stuff I've got to cram on this card. Let me show you that while I'm doing my sleeves, look. That's your double debossed rounded corner DL dies, look. Isn't that beautiful? It's that attention to detail. Hi Sylvia, I'm sorry to hear about your brother, darling. I hope you're alright. I'll try and cheer you up today, Sylvia. I'll show you my ring every now and again just to keep you happy. Yeah, look, there it is. That's just for Sylvia. Right, so we're going to get started. So what I did was, from the starry texture die, you get all this lovely waste. So it's worth keeping some of these because we can use them as extra embellishments. So let's take this back right down to where I need to start. So I'm starting on the back panel. So this is a DL sized card, but I've made it bigger. You know me, I can't do just regular shaped sized cards. So I'm just knocking all the bits to the side. All the bits to the side. So this piece that I've got here, I'll do it that way just so you can see it all on the screen. That is a full-sized full-sized. Do you know what, Jennifer? That's because I'm working with card all the time. That is a full proper DL size, so that is 99 by 210 millimeters. So it's literally a proper DL. So if I wanted to make this as a DL card, a proper DL to fit in an envelope, you would start with the base, and that would be full-size DL, and then you could use the rest of the dies. Let me just bring them back in. Then you could bring the rest of the dies. Look, so the largest one is DL, and then all the others would give you your layers coming down, and it gives you just enough space in between so we don't cover up, so it doesn't cover up that lovely double deboss detail. So you've got just enough space in between. But I'm not posting this card, nor am I giving it to anybody. Hi, Emma. So it doesn't matter to me what size I make it. So all I did was make 3 extra layers to make it bigger. And we shall begin. So there's quite a bit to do. The only inks I'm using today are Brush Corduroy Distress Oxide, Black Soot Distress Oxide, and VersaFine Onyx Black. I don't know, I've got 2 on here, but I don't know which is the oldest. So one of these is proper black, and one of these has started to fade a bit. I know, Patricia, I know. So I love doing these little demos, even if it is twice a week. It's quite nice to do, keep you inspired. So I'm going to start with the big piece of card, the big layer with the double debossed edge. And we're going to stamp some texture from the linen and doodle stripes textures from Trudy, and I'm going to stamp some of the linen, and I'm doing it freehand because I just want to do a little bit in the background, and I'm also going to do it in second generation. So extra bit of kitchen roll there. So I'm just going to do this by hand. It's a really good price, this, for 2 background stamps, because normally you would get 1 for 12 quid. Just pop that there. Oops. And I'm going to use the VersaFine. I'm just going to move my kitchen roll over here a bit. In fact, I won't. I'll bring my extra mat in a bit. There we go. Because I'm doing second generation. So second gen with VersaFine will still give us black, but it will give us a slightly softer black. And by the time I put this card together, you're not going to see much of it. Double diamond slip, then you end up with stars in your eyes. I remember stars in your eyes. So we're not going to see much of the background stamping because of all the embellishments I've got on. So I'm literally just going to do areas, and I'm going to turn it to its side because I find it easier to stamp larger pieces sideways. And because this does have lines in it, you probably can't tell yet, but because this stamp does have lines in it, I need to try and get it relatively straight. So I'm just going to hold it in my hand like this and just run the ink over the top like so. I'm just going to get a little bit more there, take off the excess, and then stamp. So I'm going to try and get it relatively straight. Oh, that's fab. Let me just add a little bit more on the double debossed. And then I'm going to do the same on the side. So you can see that that's like, I'll show it you in a second. You can see that it's like a worn out black rather than a solid black. Get a little bit more going on, just letting that fade a little bit. This is me saying you're not going to see much of it, but I'm still faffing with it. Yeah, that's fab. That looks fab already. Oh, that's just amazing. I'm going to do one more little bit up here. And I'll try and get the ink that's already on the stamp. And a little bit down here. I can't see what you're saying just yet because I'm looking at my stamp, but I will have a look in a second. I think that will do quite nicely, thank you very much. I'm just going to get a bit of lighter here. There we go. Clean the stamp. Hi Benita, how are you, darling? That one looked like a dirty old stamp pad. Oh bugger, hang on. Let me just clean this. It is an old stamp that's been well used. That's just what you want to hear, isn't it? That is actually the colour of this stamp is spiced marmalade, and that's what happens when you don't clean your stamp properly, especially with the oxides. Right, so I'll just remind you all, I'll show you this first. So that's the background. Let me show you how beautiful that linen is. So I've not worried too much about it being perfect because this is not what we're going for. We're going for a grungy type background. So we'll put that to one side and just let that dry in. The only problem, call it squeaky clean. The only issue I have with the VersaFine inks is that they don't dry very quickly. So I'm going to pop that to one side, and we're going to take the strip. So this is again from the double debossed rounded corner slender dies, DL dies, and I'm going to go for a different texture on this one because we can. And we're going to have the cogs on this one. Put the lid on this before I stick my finger in it. So we're going to have the lots of cogs on this one, the cogs and gears. Hang on, I'm getting myself in a... I need to tidy up, otherwise my brain can't cope. You put your stamps back where they belong, you know where they'll be next time you need them. So they are where they belong. I am using that linen again in a bit. So we're going to take the cogs this time, and I'm going to use the platform for this. And we're going to do this in brushed corduroy. So most of you will know that if I'm using craft cardstock, I like brushed corduroy. And I'm not going to cover the whole of this piece of card. So I am using this on the platform. Thank you very much. Remember everybody as well, this is me, look. I'm on one now with buttons. Let me try and find it. So I assume most of you now are already a member of our Facebook group. If you're not, you can search on Facebook for Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours and ask to join the group. You have to accept the rules when you ask to join the group, otherwise I just decline the request. You can also find me on YouTube with the same name, so Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. So you can subscribe to the channel on there. For me, Julia, Lozzie, Helen now, and Ilona. So because I don't want to cover the whole thing, I'm going to use this stamp in vertical, or landscape even, so I get vertical stripes. don't know whether you've all noticed that before. Let's see which bit I want. That bit. If I bring that in, I'm going to see if you can see that. So can you see that because this is from the journal page, big background stamp, we've actually got lines in there. But the cogs don't, it doesn't matter whether the cogs are portrait or landscape. It just means we get twice as much use from this stamp because we can use the lines vertically, which is what I'm going to do with this. I'm just trying to line it up somewhat. I'll come across a bit. I'm trying to find a bit that's got lots of small gears in. There we go. I'm happy with that. And we'll soon find out whether it's straight or not. Straight's overrated. I think the card moved then, but it won't matter. So we're going in with brushed corduroy, and I don't want this to be a solid stamp. I want this to be textured, and I want it to be a little bit wishy-washy. So let's just see where the area is. It's here. So I'm going to put the ink on. Check that I've got it in the right place, which I haven't. That's what you call sod's law. And we have now. So now I've got the ink on my stamp. I don't know whether I've done this before with you on Facebook. I'm going to take some of this ink off, and I'm not doing it with a wipe, I'm doing it with kitchen roll. So what we should get, because I don't want to wet this, I think that will be fine. So you can see how much ink I've taken off that stamp. So what we should end up with now is a lovely wishy-washy brushed corduroy loaded. Oh, that's fabulous. And that's what we've done on this. So because I took most of the ink off, it looks like it's a watercolour stamped background rather than a solid one that you would get if you went in with doing loads of ink. So take that off. I'm going to leave that stamp on there and just let it dry. Look at the colour of that already. And I'm just going to let that dry for a minute because I'm going to use it again. What have I missed? Hi Anne. You've had the visitors have been kicked out. That's a shame. So I'm just going to pop that there to dry, and then we're going to come to the embossed piece of card. So this is the craft card embossed with the double diamonds, and I'm just going to tear one of the edges on this, just a little bit, just so we get a shabby edge. I'm not taking a lot off, just a bit. So who says you can't do masculine cards and make them look fabulous? Because you absolutely can. So this piece of card is 21 centimeters long by 5 centimeters wide. And I've just given that a lovely rough edge. It's going to go that way on the card. But I'm just going to use my brayer. I'll save that one because I want 2 pieces. I'm going to use my brayer and black soot on top of this. So again, I'm not going for lovely and neat. Put that over there. So I'm using the 4-inch brayer that's got loads of glitter on it. Loads of paint and gesso that I couldn't get off. Hi Stephanie. So all I'm doing with this is just adding a little bit of black, but I don't want loads. I want it to look like it's dirty. So black soot oxide is not as black as, that's fab, it's not as black as the it's not as black as the versified clay, so we've already got a lovely like, it's almost like a gunmetal grey shade rather than black. Hi Lee, hi Sandy. That's alright. I don't know why my screen looks dark on my computer. Hopefully yours is alright. That's maybe Facebook. So I'm just looking for a black sponge, just bear with me a second. I'm not using my posh ones from... Oh, I can't find one, that's a bit naughty. So I'll get a new one. I'm just getting a smoothie, everybody, bear with me. Right. So I could, if I wanted to, because I just want to darken the edge of that, I could use my lovely tool, but you can see I've not used the black one yet, and I don't want to. So I've just taken a new smoothie instead. Oh, that I've just dropped. Oh, there you are. Your screen's alright? Oh, that's alright then. Screen looks okay. Right, so I'm going to darken the edge of this, and I've just taken the smoothie rather than use my lovely new tools from Lottie, and we're making this darker just on the frayed edge. And then I'm going to chop this in half. Actually, I won't. I'll leave it and just see if I need to. So I'm just taking that excess off. So that's what we've got now. We're getting there, slowly but surely. I'm going to get a drink. Di, keep reminding me. The bevs are all pink. Hi Janice. That's alright. Smoothie, you thought I meant a drink. Phil, what are you hoping to use your black handled one for then, if not black? I don't know, Dad. Do you know what it is? Where have I put it? Where have I put it? I've had 2 sets of these. I've had 2 sets of them, and look. I can't justify it. Are yours all that colour, Bev? It's because they're lovely and clean. Right, so let's get back to this. Let's get back to this card. Oh, I forgot my stencil. Bear with me. Just trying to find the one. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Right, so I'm using one of the Studio Light stencils for this. And that one is called something. That's called something. I can't even see. You can see where I've got it from, the shop. Where do I find out what that... Oh yeah, look. This is mask number 29. I will never give my stuff numbers because I don't like it. Give them names. Give them names, don't just give them numbers. That's just pure laziness. So I'm just going to add a little bit more in, and I'm going to use the ink that's still left on there. So I've done it the other way around to how I would normally do it. Normally I would do the stenciling first and then the stamping over the top, but it won't matter with this. I'm literally using the ink that's left on there just to go through, and it will be paler obviously. Oh yeah, that's lovely. You can see I've got a thing about corners. I always work in corners. And I'll just do a little bit there. And a little bit there. Somebody stop me. Oops. Ain't that fab, that stencil? Now, had I have got any of the chalk paste in stock, I would have used this with chalk paste, but we haven't. So until I've got some more stock, I'm not going to use it. So I'm not going around the edge. I'm leaving the edges as they are. One of the bonuses of the double deboss dies is if you do all your stamping and your texture afterwards, you end up with bits missing anyway, because the stamps obviously don't get into the recesses of the double debossed areas, and I just think that looks fabulous. So that's going straight on with glue. We definitely won't be 2 hours today. How long have we been? We'll probably be about an hour and a half. So this is going onto the craft card flat, just with glue. And the craft card obviously has a pointy corner because I've used the largest die to create the white layer. Hi Andrew. I am, thank you. Hey, no, thanks Benita. Did your mum sit you in a corner when you were like... I think I lived in a corner, Di. So I'm just rubbing that from the back so I don't get ink. I don't rub the ink everywhere. As soon as you pop that on craft card, look how lovely it looks. I'll save that bit of kitchen roll. And then this piece also, in fact, I'm going to go around the edge of that with black. So I've now given it a black line around the edge. It's a very Leone thing to do, but it needs to dry now. So I'll put that to one side. So whilst we're waiting for that to dry, we'll stamp the clocks and cut the clocks out. That looks lovely, that. Oops. I've left the linen texture on. Let me see if that's dry. Yeah. So I'm gonna stamp the cogs first. I'm just gonna do this first while I've still got the cog stamp on. Obviously when you're working with circles, it doesn't matter which direction they're in. So a little embellishment. So we've created an embellishment already from that cog stamp and the charm star dies. I love stamps that do more than one thing, and that's what you get with the big backgrounds. The big backgrounds also have lots of ways you can chop and create embellishments from them. So I'm just putting that back on its sheet. I will read all the comments later while I'm sat having a coffee. A warm coffee, that is. So we've already used the cogs and gears to create that panel, and I've also now created an embellishment. That was my chair creaking and not me, just so you know. So I'm going to stamp a full sheet of the clocks, the vintage timepieces. Will you upload this demo to YouTube so we can craft along? Absolutely, Grace. If I don't do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow because, oh mind you, I'm out tomorrow. But I will definitely put this video on YouTube so you can watch it anytime you like. I'm just going to pop that there and get the lots of vintage timepieces, and I'm going to stamp this in black. Hi Trish, can't find Trudy's linen and doodle. They're on the website. Pam, if you go to the description post for this Facebook Live, I did put links on. If you just search on the website for linen, you should be able to see it then. Just search for linen, you should be able to find it. Now you know why I only get one demo done on telly. I love this stamp. I absolutely love this stamp. I use it all the time. Most of you will know that. So I am using the Onyx Black, but I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing. I'm not inking it heavily because I don't want it to be perfect. But if I just bring that in and let you see all the clocks and timepieces you've got in that one stamp, and I'll stamp that. And we should get some lovely sharp impressions, and we should also get some that are a little bit faded. Oh, there you are, Jennifer's found it for you. Oh, that's fabulous. I'm going to go in again because I want a couple that are a bit darker. Look at that lot. That's just fabulous. So I'll have this one darker. Oops. So I'm now cherry picking which ones I want darker. I'll have that one darker. I'll have this one darker. And I'll have another bigger one. That one. Sorry, I'm throwing the platform all over the place. Listening while crafting with the Christmas bundle received this week. Amazing in real life. Oh, thanks, Joanne. I've not. Do you know what? Oh, I need to tell you as well. Bev, when I've nearly done, just say online workshop to me before I go. Oh, look at that stamp. That is amazing. I loved it when I designed this, and I love it even more when I'm using it. So I'm taking as much ink off as I can, even though I'm staining it with frayed burlap at the same time. And you all know me well enough to know that I've got a second set of the big backgrounds that are lovely and clean, still in the packet. going to get a clean dry. If you wait till next Friday, Bev, I'll be in the shop. Mind you, you won't wait till Friday for them, will you? So let's pop that to one side. Remember, I'm going to be cutting some of these out. I'll leave that there for a second. And I'm going to come back to the craft star. And I'm going to stamp that with the linen. So there's a lot of texture on this card. So obviously the ice cream man. Obviously there are a lot of embellishments on this card, but there's no reason why you can't do that. As long as you keep to a theme, which is what I'm trying to do. So if I can find my block. I swear that ice cream van comes round on purpose. If Facebook pick that up, they'll probably mute it. So if you're watching the video after the live and there's a section there where it's muted, it's because of the ice cream van. So I'm just going to add a linen texture to this star. I can see hi Julia, as Julia just logged in. Hi honey, I did watch you earlier while I was having my breakfast at lunchtime. Oh, look at that. Look at that gorgeous linen texture. How fabulous is that? Patricia. Oh, sorry everybody, it's going to get squeaky. Because I need to get as much ink off this as I can. I never put my stamps in the sink. I don't think it does clear stamps any good. Well, my fingers are not too bad, but my nails will fill out. Look at that. When have you ever seen me with black nails? It's from the ink, just so you know. So, pop that over there. Ice cream and a wafer. Sound keeps cutting out a bit. Anybody else getting that? It wouldn't surprise me, Julia. We've just had an ice cream van going past. So they've probably done to me what they do to you every time. I swear that ice cream van does it on purpose every Saturday. Why you can't come at 12, I don't know. So let's see if these are dry. Right, these are dry now. So I'm just going to get a drink and then I'm going to cut some of these. Here we go. Oops. So I'm just going to cut some of these bigger clocks out. And I'm only doing it roughly, I'm not spending ages on it. Because they are going to be inked around the edge. I'm the worst at cutting out, as you know. Let's see if I can find one that's half ink. I don't need too many clogs because I've got lots of the gears as well. The cog's already done. But I want to mingle in some clogs in between the gears. Let's have that one. I can't see what you put in while I'm cutting out, but I will have a look in a bit. I'm going to see if I can get both of these. Oh, look at that. Double clock. I don't know whether Karen's still watching, but Karen, if you're still watching, I heard you say you were decorating, which is alien to me. I don't do any of that. So I've got 1, 2, 3. And I've this larger one as well. Eating what? Ruffles? Is that the raspberry chocolate things, Bev? I like Ruffles and coconut mushrooms. Well, I shouldn't be eating any of it because I'm trying to lose weight. No, he's not on my street, the milkman, the ice cream van. So I just want another one that's faded a little bit. Yeah, I'll go for that one. And then you know I am the worst at cutting out. So these are all going to be distressed around the edges to cover up that. Look how many are still left as well. In the bin. Because if I need them again, I'll stamp it again. So I'm just going to use the little bit of ink that's left on it. No, I'm not. I'm going to have a bit more because it's too dry. So inking the edges just covers all that shoddy cutting out. And then when I tuck them in between the gears and cogs later, you'll never know. Look at that. That's brilliant. I've got an oval clock. Oh, that's fabulous. So at this stage, if you were going to have a go at this card when you see it finished, I promise you it's worth it at the end. I would probably put glossy accents on these and leave them to dry before I put them on the card, but I haven't got time for that today. But that is probably what I would do. Or use your clear embossing powder and go over them twice with clear embossing powder. Everybody wants an ice cream. Oh, Linda, I need to lose about another stone. Right, so here we go. So is that dry now? It is. So, oh, that's going flat onto the black. It's going flat onto the back, onto the black. Come on, glue, do as you're told. Can I just say, while I'm just doing gluing bits, I've made no end of cards this year that have not had flowers on. What's that all about? And it's only July. Oh no, it's not, it's August. Oh, it's my birthday soon. Crikey, 41 this year. This'll make you laugh. So I've just sorted out the holiday insurance because we go away in September. So I've just renewed the holiday insurance, and I love lemon meringue, and I had to message Karen to ask her how old I am. I added an extra year on. I think she thought I was joking when I asked her, but I honestly couldn't remember how old I was. Julia's not sending me a card. I don't blame you, love. Is it Di? What number, Di? Mine's middle of the month as well. Mine's the 15th. Hey, you're not doing bad, Alan, at 72. Oh, there's lots of August birthdays. Right, so this is effectively our card blank here. So remember, I always try and remember to tell you this. Oh, Emma, you're not far. Oh, I'm the 15th Di, so you're just 2 days after me. Thank you, Jean. Yes, that's right. I wish it was. But I honestly thought I was 52 this year. Yeah, but I'm not. So remember, when you're putting your layers onto your actual card blank, don't put glue on the foam tape. Just leave it without the glue, because that's what tends to kink up the edges or ruffle the edges. Wrinkle, kink. We'll go with kink. So look how fab that looks already, and that's literally just the base layers. So this card is actually, the base of this is 12 centimeters by 23. So if you were making this as an actual card, I did mention at the top of the hour, use your double debossed DL dies, because the largest of the double debossed DL dies is actually proper DL, and then you can work inwards from that. Debbie's is the 20th. Sorry I'm late. Hi Brenda, just back from shopping. I'll have to catch up later. It's alright, you can watch it later. Are you on holidays for your birthday? No, not on holiday for my birthday. I'm going away in September. Right, so now let's get this card put together. So this is the texture. This is the embossing folder, I apologise. The embossing folder. And the embossing folder is going here. I might turn that round. No, I like it the other way. Is that straight? It looks it to me. And then we've got this other panel here, which I forgot to do this to. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. I forgot to do this, and I'm mad now. So I'm just going to put a little bit of extra ink on this. And spritz it. Going to Ibiza? Do you know, I've never been to Ibiza. I've never been to Spain. Are you on TV 1st of September with the box kit? No, you're determined to find out the date of the box kit, Jennifer. Yeah, yours is on the 19th, Sylvia. I'm back on TV on the 26th of August. I'm just going to let that run a little bit. And then I'm back on the 6th of September. So I've just squirted some water, look. And I'm just going to let that run down a little bit. I'm helping it along. And now we've got to wait for that to dry, but I'm not very patient, so I'll take some of that colour off. So I've just got to leave that to dry a bit now. So I'll pop that there, and we'll do the sentiment. Oh, where's my sandwich, tell him? 11th of September, that's your birthday, 11th of September. That's when I'm going away. I'll be in Italy for you. Well, no, I won't. The day after. Right, so while we're waiting, let me just bring some of these cogs in. I'm not going to bring them all in. Alright, then I am. I'm not going to gesso these. I'm going to leave them as they are. So, you've probably not noticed, but you know what I'm like for details and things. So this is one of the dies from the lots of cogs. So you can see that we've got the debossed lines in there. It just makes it a solid gear rather than one with a hole in it. What colour's the brown, Jackie? The brown is brushed corduroy. I might make that a bit darker because it's gone a bit more yellowy than I wanted it. So I might make that darker. In fact, I'm going to do it while it's still wet. I'm going to go around with the black. It's still a little bit damp, that card, so I'm just tapping on some black to darken it. That's better. So I'm just using the ink that's left over. Useful little tip for you. You can use the black sort to just darken it up. Yep, so the brown is brushed corduroy. Yeah, so this is why I put lots of the larger. Oh, Stephanie, that's a difficult birthday. Oh, yeah. So this is why I put some of the larger ones in. So the circle that's come out of this one, that's got the deboss lining as well, look. But the circle that's come out of there, I'm actually going to use on top of this one for my sentiment. So it will fit inside there. So let's just stamp the sentiment while we wait for that piece of card to dry. And I think I'm going to go with... Ooh, decisions. Decisions. Too many choices. I might just have enjoy. I think I'm just going to use the word enjoy because it's that grungy typewriter look, and that's from the grungy Phillistic set. So obviously a good set for your masculine mates. And it just fits on there. Obviously you can choose whatever sentiment you want on there. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely, look. Enjoy. It's funny, isn't it, how you always come back to your favourite sentiments. So that's that. Put those to one side. Did I say I wasn't going to be 2 hours? I'm not going to be 2 hours. I'm just going to ink around the edge of that. It's still a bit wet, but so I'll try and watch what I'm doing. That's fab. No, the spiky width love's far too big for that. Far too big for that. I was just showing it you. So let's see if this is dry enough to work with. Almost. This is not quite dry yet, but I think it's going to have to go on. So looking very interesting. Very interesting. You know what it's like when you watch me, you have to trust that I know what I'm doing. Because at this stage you look at it and you think, oh my god, what a bloody mess. But I promise you, it will be fabulous when we've done. And you know I'm always right. So we're just going to overlap a little bit with the with this panel. So I need 2 high on one side and one high on the other. So I'm going to bring that down here. Try and keep that straight-ish. Just make sure it's straight. It's straight enough. It's straight enough. Right, get a drink. And then clear some of that mess up, because there's mess everywhere. So when I was doing the cutting earlier, when I was prepping this, I've cut these stars in craft and in black, but I think I'm just going to go with black, and I just literally want some rough texture, so I'm just snipping this up, or ripping it up. I love these dies. Love these dies. Then I want another bit down there. Right, so I'm going to pop these on first. So the textures are going to be underneath everything else that's going on here. Yeah, they would, Patricia, you're right. So I'm just going to glue that on. Let's have it a bit higher actually. I'm just trying to make sure the stars are somewhat straight, because otherwise it will play with my mind. So I've literally just glued it onto the craft card, look. And this one's going to go on here. This will be another 3-inch deep card. And then these bits of card I've got here, look, are from when I was doing my matting and layering. So I've kept all these bits. Will it be a Christmas box kit? Yes. Yes. So I'm back on the 26th of August with a new collection of stamps. And then I'm back on the, I think it's the 6th of September with the box kit. So that's going to go on there. I'm not doing anything to this. I'm leaving this plain white. I'm going to do it with glue gel. Hi Debbie, not to worry darling, you'll be able to watch this. You'll be able to watch the video back when it's finished anyway. But I am going to put it on YouTube later. And then the same with the craft piece. So all these little bits are just strips that I've saved. I've saved from my matting and layering. It just gives you extra little embellishments that don't cost anything. And although I'm using glue gel, I am pushing this down. I am pushing this down a little bit. So it's raised, but it's not, well, I'll show you. it's raised, but it's not 6" off the card. I'm going to have another little bit. I'm going to have another little bit of this up there. Actually, I'm going to save that until I've put all the gears and everything on. That's a motorbike in the background. I swear they just do it on purpose. Mind you, I've got the windows open. So I'm not worried about these being straight at the edges because you're not going to see much of it. This is my favourite part. I'll bring that up so you can actually see what I'm doing. You know, my favourite part is the embellishing stage. This is where you see my brain, my ideas starting to come together. So I've literally done nothing to these pieces, look, apart from cut them. Oops. Just making sure they're straight. There we go. Well, at least you're not got a grim guy streaming all the way through. Oh no, she didn't. Yeah, I heard a bit of it actually. Right, so now I'm just going to figure out where everything's going. Oh, I forgot one thing. Now, I'm not sure whether we've got any of this twine in stock. If we have, it'll be on the website. And it's got that lovely black in there. And I'm just going to create myself a little circular loop. So I'll go around my glue pot. So I've just created a little circular loop and I'm just going to glue that on so it stays as a circle. Oops. Hold that in place. Hold that in place. So I'm just holding the edges of the twine with the glue until the glue grabs the edge. So we're creating a little circular embellishment. So while I just wait for that to set, we'll start putting stuff where I want it. I don't want that big one. This one's going to go down here. So I'm just doing a basic layout of where I want stuff now. You've got to bear with me while I'm doing the faffing bit. It's always worth just doing your basic. I better check that the clocks are the right way up this time. Where's 12? Where's 12? That'll do. You've got to bear with me while I'm faffing. Faffing's important. Trust me, the faffing is important. Oh, not to worry, Janice. I hope she's all right, darling. I think I like that one better there. I'll bring it all in closely when I've finished putting it together. My favourite bit. Oops. And I'm only using the glue gel because that's my preference. You can use whatever you prefer. On the wonk. Well, you know I do. You know I quite often put the clocks at a funny angle. Then I want a black solid one. Why did I not cut a black solid one? That was just silly, Phil. Silly Phil. I'm getting there. Got to have a bit of patience. I'm not usually that patient, so I'm going to make that higher. Right, we're getting there. I keep saying that, like we are, but we are. Anyway, while I'm doing this boring bit, even though it's the most important bit, and that's another motorbike. I swear they save it all for Facebook Lives. So while I'm doing this, I'll just remind everybody, if you're late to the party, to please like and share, and I have put links in the description to everything that I've used today, or most of what I've used today, and all the products are, or should be if they're in stock, on the website. So I'm just building up the background look. Oh, take that off, I forgot that was there. Cogs and stars are my thing, so not just for men. Yeah, absolutely, Judy. If we did this card in pinks and purples, it would look completely different. Completely different. It just depends what your colour scheme is. So I don't know if I'm going to use that one. I think that one looks like the odd one out. Oops. So I'm just doing this top corner now. I'm going to have another clock in there, I think. Just bear with. I'm trying to find 12 o'clock. 10, 11, 12. This one is definitely going with the lines the right way. Oh. So I'm laughing because, you know, when I said there were no flowers, there's absolutely everything else. Which I just think is funny. Not put enough glue on that one. Oh, I did, it's the wrong way on. This is why some of the solid cogs are better, look, because you can cover up the glue from underneath. Anyway, can we just talk about how impressed you should be that we've had two live demos this week? I bet you never thought that would happen. I want a white one. Have I got a white solid one? I haven't. Typos. I shouldn't worry about that. And been carrying phone around in penny pocket and think pressure on the screen might have sent loads of hearts and thumbs up. That's alright, Jean. I don't mind hearts and thumbs up. So I've just got a couple more bits to put on. I've got my big stars. So my big stars now are going to be chopped into bits and put underneath. So I might not actually, I'm just going to pour that up. Now I'm going to chop it. I'm going to chop it in half. And we'll tuck it underneath. I'm just trying to get the linen straight so that it matches. We'll have that one that way. And I've nearly done, believe it or not. We've got a few extra little bits to tuck on. So just a few little bits to tuck on now. I'm just going to make sure everything's sitting straight, because as soon as the glue gel starts to dry, I won't have much room for manoeuvring. So I need another black cog. I've just got to have a cog down here. Somebody will need to stop me in a minute. Somebody needs to come and slap my leg. So I'm just looking where I've got any gaps. And I know there aren't many. I'm not wasting these cogs now. I can't use that one. Look, that's the only downside I find to the glue gel. I've got a bit on the top of this craft cardstock cog. Stop, slap and drink. I'm not quite finished yet. I've just got a couple more. Just got a couple more to put on, but they're going on flat. Dimension is the key when you can't over embellish something. Over embellish? What kind of talk is that? Nearly done, nearly done. I've really enjoyed doing that. Look at the colour of that. Oh bugger, that's gone on the floor. I've got glue gel up my fingers, so I'm just drying my fingers. Oops, just banged the camera. Apologies, everybody. Sent you seasick. Looks good enough. Stop now. That's enough. Stop, stop. I haven't finished yet. So now what's going on is a couple of little stars, and I know Judy won't mind a couple of extra stars. I won't go mad with them, I'll just put 12 on. So I want a couple up here. One there. And I think we'll have craft there. One there. We'll have one there. That's not quite 12. And I just need one there, I think. And And I think we're done. I think we're done. Shall I stop? You do know that when I take a photo of this later, it's probably going to have more on it. But I'm going to stop there because I think that's enough. No, it's not. I need one more. Just on the join. Just on the join of that. I think we'll have a star on there. So another black star. Oh no, it needs to be craft, sorry. It needs to be craft. And now I'm stopping. So there you go. Who says a man's card can't be fabulous? So I will tip it on its side in a minute so you can see, but I'll just do a top to bottom. How about that? And if you think that nearly all the embellishments, so it's not actually that bad. How deep is that? I think that's one of the shallowest cards I've done. 3 centimeters. No, it's less. Oh, it's about an inch. Oh, it's about an inch. Thanks, Bev. It's about an inch deep, that. So I'm not putting any glitter or anything on that. I'm going to leave that to dry, and then I'll take a proper photo of it later. I honestly don't think it needs anything else. So I'm not going to put anything else on it. So I'll leave that there so you can see that properly. I will take a photo later, obviously. Right, so thanks, Bev. So, oh, I can't check the bloody calendar. Oh, I've got a date for the next online workshop, but I can't remember it, and I can't check my calendar because my phone's being used as a camera. So I will post later on with the date for the online workshop. So it's not till October, I know that. That's the earliest I can get one in. So I've got an online workshop planned for October, and I've got 2 planned for December. So I will tell you the dates later and let you know. I've also got a date or 2 dates for the craftathon. So we're finally the first craftathon in 2.5 years. So I will do all the flyers later on, and I will post all the information on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. So keep an eye out for all the information. I'll tell you now that we've already got people passed over for the craftathon, people that had booked before the lockdown. So the spaces are going to be few and far between. So if you want to come for an all-day workshop, you'll need to let me know quickly. So I shall post everything later on or over the weekend. Remember, if you are in our little Facebook group, Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours, I've got a little giveaway going on in there. And please remember, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Crafting with Phill Martin and Sentimentally Yours. You can also find Julia Watts on there as well, so follow Julia or subscribe to Julia's channel. And you will also find Ilona, Lozzie and now Helen, I think, from my design team on YouTube. So give them a little bit of crafty love. Do you know what, Linda? Linda's just said you'll need to design a crafty box. I have thought about that because I tend to do really big cars, but I doubt we'd be able to buy dies that are big enough for my cars. So I'll just do a little close-up just while I'm closing off again. So remember, please make sure you like and subscribe our YouTube channels. There we go. And please make sure you like and follow Sentimentally Yours on Facebook. And I will see you on Tuesday evening for a YouTube only demo. I'm not doing the multi-channel, I'm just doing YouTube only on Tuesday evening. So the craftathons, Trish is just asking about. Craftathons are my all-day workshops that we have in Sheffield now, because we've only got the Sheffield shop now. And the online workshops, obviously anybody can get to, because it's online. So I'll do the flyers and send you all the information as soon as I've done them. So thanks everybody. Hopefully you've enjoyed a slightly different project today. Still fabulous. Still got lots of embellishments on. And I just think it's lovely. So have a lovely rest of the weekend. And I will see you on Tuesday evening on YouTube at 7 p.m. So thanks everybody. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.